Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and sponsored by international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia of Missing. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 40 podcast platforms, as well as HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We can be heard in over 100 countries, featuring over 1,000 well-known and amazing guests throughout the globe. And named one of the top 100 global podcasts in the New York Weekly Times, Hollywood Entertainment News, Los Angeles Weekly Times, Apple, and Chartable. So sit back and relax and enjoy another great episode of the award-winning Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Mosinzia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosinzia has garnered great reviews, and Eve 11 enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Mosinzia. Available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music. Also heard on HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and a few networks coming soon. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, baseball gear, and much, much more. Go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosinzia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Mosinzia. Check it out today. Also support us on Anchor FM, the Mike Wagner Show, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with a wonderful lady who is a developmental psychologist and the National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach out of Tucson, Arizona. She received her training at the Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine and helps busy professionals as well as entrepreneurs minimize the negative effects of stress. Also, to make a bigger impact without sacrificing health, well-being, and personal relationships. And also talks about, we'll cover the 3 steps to conquer overwhelm, how to use self-compassion, overcome perfection, ditching negativity, effectively dealing with feelings of regret, and the 10 ways to relax in 10 minutes or less. We'll find out very soon. Won't be in 10 minutes, but it'll be well worth your 10 minutes and more. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Tucson, Arizona, the amazing developmental psychologist and nationally board certified health and wellness coach and owner of Bosch Integrative Wellness, ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Leslie Bosch. Leslie, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you.
Well, it's great to have you on board as well, too. You're a developmental psychologist and national board certified health and wellness coach. You received training at the Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine. You also help busy professionals and entrepreneurs minimize the negative effects of stress, and also make a bigger impact without sacrificing health, well-being, or personal relationships. You talk about the 3 steps to conquer overwhelm. How do you self-compassion, overcome perfection, also ditching negativity, effectively dealing with feelings of regret, and most importantly, 10 ways to relax in 10 minutes or less. We're going to find out about that. You're also the owner of Bosch Integrative Wellness out of Tucson, Arizona. And before getting to all that, Leslie, tell us how you first got started.
Well, thanks so much, Mike. I really appreciate the opportunity. So, like many Americans, I was working long hours in a very demanding job. And like many Americans, I was mismanaging my stress. In fact, I didn't even know that stress was a thing, that stress management was a thing. And I was doing all the things. I was not exercising, eating lots of junk food, not sleeping well because I couldn't turn my mind off at night. I was tense all the time. So I was having, fights with my husband. I wasn't having any fun. I wasn't taking any time for myself. And ultimately, I didn't realize it, but at the time, I was sacrificing my health, my well-being, and my personal relationships for career success. And I started to show the signs. Worse for wear. I started to gain some weight, as I mentioned. I started to have difficulty sleeping, and I started to sort of not be doing so well with my husband. So this is when I started to look around for something that I could do to help myself. And this is when I came across a course offered through the Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine. And it was there that I was introduced to an integrative approach to health and wellness. And basically, an integrative approach recognizes the interdependence of 7 core areas of health, which include sleep, nutrition, movement, relationships, spirituality, which is essentially that sense of who you are and what's important to you and what matters and why your life has meaning and purpose. And then also resilience, which is the biggest one that I focus on. And then also environment, which is about making sure that you're getting enough time in nature and that your environments are, detoxified and neat and orderly. This really seems to make a difference for people's health. So while I was in the course, essentially my job was to clean up my act in all of these 7 core areas of health, which I did. And after some concerted effort and, 3 to 6 months, I actually started to feel better. So I was so impressed with my results that like you said, I took it to the next level and became a nationally board certified health and wellness coach. And now I help other busy professionals to, minimize the negative effects of stress so that they can make a bigger impact too.
And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
Well, basically, like I said, when I was in the course and I really came to understand what stress is and how critical it is and how detrimental it can be to your health, because a lot of what's going on right now is we're really just sort of discovering that a lot of the chronic diseases that give people the biggest problems, like heart disease and high blood sugar and even some cancers they're finding, are basically underpinned by this stress response, an mismanaged stress response. High cortisol levels, and that don't come down to they don't rise and fall, but rather people are just chronically stressed. So for me, I was just shocked that I had not heard about this. I was shocked that this was so important. And basically, I learned so much about how to manage stress that this was for me, okay, I really want to go out and help people do this.
And what was that one moment that simply inspired you to help people, like after taking course? What was that one light bulb moment or a light bulb moment saying that I need to do this, I need to do that? So what was that one precise light bulb moment that really just stood out and said, this is what I'm going to do in any area?
That's really great. I'm not sure I had a one light bulb moment, Mike. I definitely saw, because I think it's really hard once you're always trying to figure out how you're going to make your way forward. I think this is part of what it is. But for me, I had received my PhD and I was a developmental psychologist helping people with the change process. But again, you're always looking for ways to make that clearer and to be sort of become more specialized in how you can actually help people.
Hmm.
So it was more the change that I had around stress management that was really for me where I decided to dedicate myself. And because I saw so many people around me who really felt like I did, which is they really just did not know that stress was a thing and that there were things that they could do to minimize stress.
Now, did you make this change before the pandemic, during the pandemic, or was it after the pandemic?
Well, actually, I got started in my business right before the pandemic. So
oh my God, perfect timing.
Yeah. So essentially, there was a fair amount of, wellness shot to the top of the charts. Like everybody was really concerned about wellness, health, and of course, stress became really problematic for people. So again, a lot of companies were trying to figure out how to help their employees to deal with all the stressors that were going on during the pandemic. And even now, as we're trying to come out of it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, either way, coming in, coming out, and everything else, we'll talk about the 3 steps to conquer overwhelm. And how do we do that along with some self-compassion and more? We'll find out just with Leslie Bosch. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes, Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including Hamilton Radio, Oldies FM, Diamonds Radio, and a few other networks coming soon. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Also support the Mike Wagner Show with a generous donation on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with developmental psychologist and also nationally board certified health and wellness coach Leslie Bosch of Bosch Integrative Wellness on the Mike Wagner Show. And you talk about the 3 steps to conquer overwhelm and basically what causes feeling of overwhelm. How can someone deal effectively, and explain the 3 steps to conquer that overwhelm.
Well, thanks so much, Mike. It's really, I feel that I can't keep up with your fast talking, so I hope it's okay.
I'm sorry, did I overwhelm you?
I hope it's okay that I can't talk as fast as you. Most people
you don't need to. It's okay.
Most people do think I'm a fast talker, but you, I think, have beaten me. You take the prize. Congratulations on that. So when we think of conquering overwhelm, the 3-step process that I offer people is really that number 1, the first step is to really recognize where feelings of overwhelm come from. Now, a lot of people think that feelings of overwhelm come from their circumstances. They come from the demands at work. They come from the things they have to do at home. It comes from their busy calendars. It comes from the demands that their kids make on them. All these things. People think that this is the source of their overwhelm. But the truth of the matter is, overwhelm comes from our thoughts. So really, the first step is to recognize that overwhelm comes from how we're thinking about our demands and the events around us. So if we think that the demands are good, then we'll tend to feel positive emotions. And from that, we'll tend to engage in healthy behaviors. And from that, we'll tend to have good outcomes. If we think that the things that are going on are not good, then we'll tend to feel negative emotions. And from that, we'll tend to engage in negative behaviors. And from that, we'll tend to have negative outcomes. So the first thing to understand is that our thoughts drive our feelings of overwhelm and not actually our our surroundings themselves. And this is good news because a lot of times we can't control our surroundings, but we can control our thoughts. It's not easy at first, but it is doable.
It sounds like the first thing that plants in your head just pretty much comes out of it. So it's good to steer to positive as well, too. But also, you have to have some self-compassion as well, too. And explain about that and how can that be used properly, self-compassion?
Yes, and I can absolutely do that. But let me just tell you a little bit more about the way to conquer overwhelm. So the first thing to do is also the second step is to really keep an eye on your thoughts. And there are 3 thoughts that are really particularly problematic for people. The first type of thought is a should thought. Because anytime you have a should thought, then if it doesn't go the way you think it should, then you're always going to be upset about that. So the first thing is to make sure you keep an eye out for should thoughts. The second type of thoughts that tend to bother people are perfectionistic thoughts. This can be really problematic because you have sort of unrealistic standards. And then people typically can't live up to those standards, including yourself. And so typically you will get overwhelmed if you have exceedingly high standards, these perfectionistic thoughts. And then the third type of thought that can really bother you is these people-pleasing thoughts, thoughts that you have to do it a certain way. And if you don't do it that way, then people are going to be upset with you. There's going to be conflict, or perhaps your boss might fire you, or your husband might divorce you, or your kids might think you're a bad mom. So the point is these people-pleasing thoughts can really give people challenges because when we have people-pleasing thoughts, we tend to take on entirely too many things. And then literally we can feel overwhelmed, and rightfully so, because we have too many things on our plate. So this is the second step. And then the third step is once you've identified which thought is really giving you fits, then you really challenge that thought and you work, like for instance, you rewrite should thoughts so that they are more in line with what could be happening, not what must be happening. Then with perfectionistic thoughts, you try and write more realistic thoughts, right? More realistic expectations. And then ultimately with people-pleasing thoughts, you really want to just recognize that you have a right to be included in the equation too. And so if you need to take care of yourself, then that you can ask for that and negotiate for that. So in a nutshell, those are the 3 steps. Number 1, that you recognize that feelings of overwhelm come from your thoughts, not your circumstances. Number 2, that you look for these 3 types of thoughts that are often cause overwhelm. And then number 3, you challenge the thoughts and you really try and find thoughts that are more workable. And basically by doing that, you can restore feelings of calm and clarity so that you can move forward again. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It's really interesting. And of course, we also talked about using self-compassion. And I think you also had overcoming perfection as well, too. And also, let's learn to ditch negativity as well, too. So maybe just touch upon some of the being self-compassionate, just a little care as well, too. And you talk about overcoming perfection. I think you pretty much overcame that and hit on the head. And ditching negativity, that's going to take some time, too, especially after the pandemic.
Right, exactly. So with self-compassion, if I speak to that just a little bit, what that means is essentially when you do have a setback, right? When you find something about yourself that you don't like, when you make a mistake, when you feel that, there's just something going on, there's suffering, you're not having a good time, then self-compassion is really where you come to yourself and you befriend yourself like you would befriend a good friend. Right. So a lot of times we're very kind to others, but then we can be really, really hard on ourselves, call ourselves a lot of nasty names and engage in a lot of really unkind and unhelpful and unhealthy behaviors. So basically with self-compassion, again, there you want to be aware of the fact that you are not feeling great, that you are feeling a sense of, again, we can say like overwhelm. And then you want to be able to say to yourself, okay, recognize the common humanity, which is to say, I'm a human being. Human beings make mistakes. Human beings struggle. Human beings have flaws. And So again, this is especially for those perfectionists out there to recognize that, yes, all human beings have flaws. That can be very difficult for perfectionists to tolerate. So again, that's again part of the process that you need to work through in order to sort of change these behaviors. As a recovering perfectionist, it can be very hard to let go of these strategies for succeeding in the world. And it does take time. It is a habit, and it does need to be changed just like any other habit. So then again, as I mentioned, once you recognize your common humanity, then you can say to yourself in a kind way, what can I do now to, again, get back on track and start moving towards my goals? So that's pretty much how you can use self-compassion, which is really about being kind to yourself, especially when you're having a difficult time.
That's really interesting too. And I hear stories all the time about, I wish you had done this. I wish you would have done that. I wish you had done this like 10, 20, 30 years ago. I wish I would have done this sooner. I wish I would have done this ahead of time, which is feelings of regret. And how do you effectively deal with that? And where do these feelings of regret come from?
Well, I think it's really important to understand that with feelings of regret, this is really about you're kind of trying to grieve the loss of an opportunity. So with feelings of regret, again, one of the first things to do is to recognize that this is something that's important to you. And once you recognize that it's important and it's something that matters, then you can go back and begin to think about what can I do now? So if it's gone and the opportunity is gone and you can't get it back, then typically you need to move into a process of grieving and mourning. This is where you sort of feel the feelings of sadness over the loss, but then also you begin to think about what can I do now? How can I do some part of that? So perhaps you regret that you didn't start music lessons, for instance, sooner. Then you could say to yourself, is this still important to me? And if so, then how can I get started today? And where would I like to get started? And what instrument would I like to play? And what teacher would I like to get, et cetera, et cetera? And how could you begin to do the things that you wish you had done then now?
That's interesting. And when you talked about the grieving process, it reminded me of the grieving process of death or a loss of a loved one. I think you hit on the head pretty well right there.
Absolutely. Grief, a lot of people don't want to grieve. It's not fun. It's not fun to feel those feelings of sadness, the feelings of anger or guilt. Some people have guilt over these things. Some people have shame. Certainly regret can lead to remorse, which is also, again, a negative feeling, which is very stressful. So again, if you're grappling with regret, it's great to get somebody who can help you to sort that out and somebody who can help you to work through that. Because just sitting with feelings of regret and hoping they'll go away probably isn't going to be a good strategy. You probably need to do something to address it.
And that's very true as well, too. We talked about the 10 ways to relax in 10 minutes or less. And what are the 10 ways? We'll find out with Leslie Bosch of Bosch Integrative Wellness. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Molson-Zia Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with developmental psychologist and owner of Bosch Integrative Wellness, Leslie Bosch, after this time.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mia Molson-Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to The Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with developmental psychologist and also of Bosch Integrative Wellness, Leslie Bosch, here on the Mike Wagner Show. We covered how to use self-compassion, also 3 steps to conquer overwhelm. Hope you guys are taking notes. Overcoming perfection, and don't be perfect about it. Ditching negativity, and dealing with feelings of regret, as we said before, could have done this. But then you also have ways to relax as well. You have 10 ways to relax in 10 minutes or less. And what are the 10 ways to relax in 10 minutes or less, Leslie?
Great. Thanks so much, Mike. And I just want to let your listeners know that if they are interested in those 3 steps to conquer overwhelm, they can find those on my website. You just go to boschintegrativewellness.com, and right there on the homepage, you can get the guide that basically spells out those 3 steps. So if people are interested in that, they can find that really easily. They don't need to worry about taking notes.
Just don't feel overwhelmed, okay? So
That's right. Don't feel overwhelmed. You can get those steps, and I would love also to hear from you if you're interested in any of these things, or if you're interested in how stress relief coaching can help you. Right there again on my homepage, you can book a call, a free consultation. I would love to talk with you about your current situation and the challenges that you're facing, and then really just sort of be able to talk with you about how stress relief coaching might help, and really find for you a great strategy for moving forward. So please feel free to book a call on my website. Again, that was boschintegrativewellness.com.
we will certainly do that. And of course, 10 ways to relax in 10 minutes, and maybe just 1 or 2 of the ways. And how can we do it in 10 minutes or less? I mean, not literally 10 minutes, but
Great. Well, that's the nice thing. I did create this, I did collect, right, these strategies that you really can do in 10 minutes or less, that really can help you to sort of let go of that stress response and reestablish that sense of calm and clarity. And basically, the 10 strategies are, first of all, you can meditate. And you don't have to do it for very long. 3, 4, 5 minutes of meditation where you just turn inward and begin to reflect, like do a little body scan or focus on your breath. This is a really great way to begin to de-stress. And you can do it, like I said, for 3 to 5 minutes, and it will make a difference. You can also control your breath. There's lots of breathing exercises out there, and you definitely want that you can use to again, de-stress. You can take deep breaths. You can hold your breath. You can release your breath slower than you take your breath in. There's lots of strategies, again, available that you can use. Another strategy is you can visualize a peaceful scene. A lot of people find this very, very enjoyable. So you can revisit a favorite place that you went on a vacation, or you can imagine. You don't even really have to imagine if you don't want. You can pull up beautiful scenes of nature on the internet. It's very easy to find beautiful videos of mountains and trees and animals. All of these things have been demonstrated to help you reset your nervous system and help you, again, to de-stress and let go of that stress response. Bring it down, right? So another strategy is to spend time with your pet. Animals are a great way to help regulate your nervous system, because they don't really know what stress is. They just are kind of in the present moment. Stress usually comes from focusing on things in the past or things that you're worried about in the future. So anything that can help you come to the present moment where all is right and well with the world, this can help you to de-stress. And pets are a great way to do that.
Oh my gosh, that's so perfect on that one too. So we have a 2-year-old dog, which acts like a 2-year-old, but big old boxer, but they work just as well too. It's like, pet, dog, cat, anything, they're always a best friend. So
absolutely. I love my little Chihuahua. He helps me all the time to remember just to lighten up, basically. So he makes me laugh. So another thing that you can do is talk to a friend. Anytime you can have a face-to-face with a friend, this really helps to reset your stress levels. And you don't have to talk for very long, just looking at them, having them smile at you, getting a hug, remembering that they're there for you. Another thing that works really well is to take a short walk. And again, if you can get out in nature and pay attention to your surroundings, look at the sky, the trees, the birds, really noticing the things around you, this is a great way to de-stress. Another great strategy is listening to music. Especially if it's music, whatever it is that you need. If you need to just something that can help you to relax, so calm and soothing music, this is a great way. Or if you're feeling blue, then listen to something that cheers you up. If you're feeling like low energy, then listen to something like that perks you up, like John Philip Sousa March, or the theme to Mission Impossible, or the Rocky theme. All of these can help to energize you and to get you going. So music is a great way to change your mood and to de-stress. Another great way is to chew some gum. This again helps you to, something about the way that chewing stimulates the vagus nerve, which again can help to lower your stress levels. Much like taking a walk, you can sit outside in the sun. Just being in the sun and enjoying the sun for a few minutes, allowing it to just warm your face and your muscles, this can be a great way to bring about a relaxation response. And then finally, another great strategy is to write down everything that worries you. Once you get it out of your head and onto a piece of paper, then you can begin to prioritize, you can begin to cross some things off, and you can begin to recognize where you want to get started.
That's really interesting. And lastly, what's your favorite chewing gum if you get stressed out?
My favorite chewing gum is always going to be, I love winter mint.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even go for that. Really, what was it, double mint or something like that? I was taking a mint or something. It's like, oh, I think you got me on gum. Big Red's a really big one. And if you want to have a little fun, just a little bubble gum wouldn't hurt too. So
Exactly.
And where can we find all your information at, and how can people reach you at, and what's your website?
My website is Bosch, integrativewellness.com, and you spell Bosch like the appliances. That's BOSCH, integrativewellness.com. And all the stuff is on there. All the stuff about how to conquer overwhelm, all the stuff about regret is there under the blog post. These 10 ways to de-stress in 10 minutes or less are there. And there are a whole bunch of other resources. And of course, what I really encourage everyone to do is to book a call, because I would love to meet you. And I would love to hear more about what's going on for you. And I would love to be able to tailor make a strategy for you that could help you get started on your stress reset, or your, you're optimizing your response to stress and minimizing the negative effects of stress.
And certainly do so as well, too. We're here with the owner of Bosch Integrative Wellness, Leslie Bosch, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a few more minutes. Leslie, what can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, Leslie?
Well, right now I'm starting a new group coaching practice, and I'm even looking for founding members who can help me with this beta program. And basically they can work with me closely. If they can provide feedback, and in exchange, they get a really big discount on the course. That's a 6-week course, and that'll be starting soon. I'm really hoping to do more groups because it's more affordable, and also community building way to work on your professional development and your stress management skills and optimizing your response to stress.
That's certainly amazing. We're looking forward to a great 2022, Leslie. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Wow, the biggest influence in my career. That's a toughie. Right now, I guess I would have to say that basically it's Andrew Weil and his his efforts to bring this integrative approach to medicine, because a lot of people, when they go to the doctor, they really don't know. They know that they're having difficulties, but a lot of times don't really know what steps they need to take in order to get on track with changing the habits that they need in their lifestyle. So that's the best thing about wellness coaching that I just sort of want to leave people with, which is a wellness coach can really help you with your efforts to change. Coaches really understand the change process. They understand the phases. They understand the roadblocks. And more importantly, they understand the strategies that you can use to be successful in your change process.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
A lot of us know what we should do. We just don't do it. So a coach can really help you to break through that and to figure out how you can do it in a way that works well for you.
And certainly very interesting as well. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Best advice I can give to anybody. Well, again, I think the best advice I can give to anybody is make self-care a priority. You only get one body, and you need to take care of your body, heart, mind, and soul, not just physically, but also your mind, your values, and basically the things that light you up. So I really encourage people to think about these things, to prioritize time, to invest in these things, because ultimately, at the end of the day, this is the best course of action to have a rich and full life.
We certainly will do so, and very amazing. Once again, we're with Leslie Bosch of Bosch Integrative Wellness here on the Mike Wagner Show. Leslie, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact, or where can people simply purchase your services, check out your works, and more?
Great. People can reach out to me at BoschIntegrativewellness.com. Again, that's BOSCH, integrativewellness.com. You can find all my materials there. I have lots of free resources, but I really, again, encourage you to book a call. I would love to meet you, and I would love to hear more about what's going on for you and help you get a strategy for moving forward.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Leslie, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all the best, and you've got a great future ahead of you.
Thanks so much, Mike, and all the same to you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show. Brought to you by international award-winning author Mia Mosin-Zia of Missing, and powered by Sonic Web Studios. Be sure to join us again on over 40 podcast platforms, and of course on the MikeWagnerShow.com, HamiltonRadio.net, and Diamonds FM. Don't forget to support our program with a generous donation at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Thanks for listening.